Thanks for joining us for Understanding Real Estate with Realtor Becky Cobb of West Cobb Alliance, part of the ReeceNichols Real Estate Group in Neosho.
So, Becky, we're going into the second half of 2025, and do you have a mortgage rate update for us?
Yes, article from Keeping Current Matters, which is a real estate information, says mortgage rates are stabilizing, and that really helps today's buyers. So economists and mortgage professionals are calling this quarter's activity one of the most calm periods for mortgage rates in recent memory. And so that really makes it a better plan, a better time for buyers to plan to purchase. It says unpredictability makes it tough to plan ahead. When rates are bouncing around and making big jumps week to week, it's easy to be intimidated, and we have definitely seen a lot of that in our market. So with a little bit calmer rates and not the big jumps back and forth, it's easier for a buyer to say, okay, now's the time to do it. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger and get over to our mortgage professional, get pre-qualified, and then call a real estate agent. Let's go find you a home to buy. We have lots of choices these days.
For today, Becky, can you look into your crystal ball and tell us, when are we going to get the best mortgage rate?
Oh, crystal ball, what do I see? The reality is I don't see anything. It's pretty cloudy in there, Luke. However, we know in the real estate industry that trying to time mortgage rates, it's really difficult. There's no guarantee that rates are going to be any more favorable in 3 months or 6 months. We do see things being calm. Keeping Current Matters has an article that tells me that they generally expect interest rates to be on a downward trend for the rest of this year, but that it's going to be at a pretty slow pace. So there's never any way to guarantee that you got the absolute lowest interest rate, and there's never a guarantee that you sold your house at the absolute peak point where you're going to get the most money for it. What you got to do is plan for your life. What do you need now? What makes the most sense? And if it's affordable and you need to do it, now's the time to do it. So to get your best information on interest rates, go talk to a local lender.
Well, Becky, as a buyer or a seller, do I even want to get involved in the housing market right now, or are things just too unpredictable?
It's interesting. We're actually in a more stable market than we've been in the last 5 years. Prior to 2020, we all know what happened then. Things, we always were just on a gradual growth, somewhere probably between 3 to 5% per year. Sometimes we would take some hits, but overall, real estate is pretty stable and is usually on a growth trend. Right now, we are seeing some prices fall back a little bit, but after the big highs, it's to be expected. I'm reading information here that says while affordability may still be a challenge for some buyers, the market is offering a bit more stability. So that's going to be making planning a little bit easier. We're going to see interest rates. They're not going to jump back and forth too much. They're going to be pretty stable. You're going to be able to make a plan for your savings, a plan for when's the right time to sell your home, and a plan for when's the right time to purchase. So stability, it's more stable now than it has been in quite a while. Keep your eye on that and talk to your local lender.
So I've got a burning question for you today, Becky. What is the 5-year rule?
The 5-year rule in real estate. I'm glad you asked that, Luke. The 5-year rule is that if you plan to live in your home for at least 5 years, you should be able to buffer yourself against any short-term declines. So we see the market sometimes go up at a record pace. Sometimes we see it fall back, and people get a little worried. We are definitely seeing maybe some of the prices fall back just a little bit from that all-time high. We went up really, really fast in the last 5 years. However, it doesn't mean you're going to take a big loss when you go to sell. If you have to sell fast, you might take a loss. But overall, if you can stay within it, can live in your property for at least a 5-year period, you should see some gains in the long run. Maybe they won't be huge, but you overall should see some gains. And then remember, your home, the biggest purpose for your home is a place to live. It's great when you make a profit when you sell it, but your biggest purpose for your home is you need a place to live, to protect yourself and your family, and that's what your home's all about.
Well, Becky, here we are in the middle of summer, and why is this summer a good time to purchase?
You know, something interesting about this summer, buyers have a little bit more power this summer. So I'm looking at an article that says 3 reasons to buy a home this summer, and I'm going to say I agree with all 3 of these reasons. Number 1, you may have more negotiating power. We've definitely seen more negotiation on pricing this year than ever. Now, you can't be crazy about it, but you probably do have a little bit more flexibility and a little more ability to negotiate with the seller. You definitely have more choices, and I love that. When I first started in this business, I'd take people out to see 5, 6, maybe 10 homes. In the last few years, it's like, I'll show you one home. Do you like it? You better write that offer up fast. Now, again, we're getting back to maybe we have 3, 4 homes that meet your needs, and you're going to have a few more choices. So that's another good reason to get out and look right now. There are a number of really nice listings on the market in our area, and this will be a great opportunity to find something that maybe you've been dreaming of. And then, again, we've kind of already talked to it. You might have a little bit more flexibility on price with more homes for sale, and when they're not selling as fast as they have been, your seller may be willing to negotiate a little bit. So some good reasons. Get out there in the market, take a look at what your local realtors have listed, and you might find something you're really excited about.
If you would like to know more about understanding real estate, you may contact Becky Cobb at 417-592-3245 of the West Cobb Alliance, your realtors for life. Find out more on the web at neosho.homes.